Hello. Oi. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Hope you guys are having a great morning. I certainly am. And today, oh, look, I'm blurry. Today, we're talking about money again because we love talking about money on this channel. It's just so much fun. First topic on hand is the like and subscribe button. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Obviously, do whatever you want with that. First thing we're talking about is stupid things kids spend money on. Now, we're talking about specifically kids or early 20s. If you're in high school or early 20s or college, I'm calling you a kid. I'm a kid. Okay, I'm not in college. But the point is, what are these things that they spend their money on that they really should not be spending their money on? I've seen this. I've seen this with my own two eyes. These kids, they get their first job. It's a part-time job. They get some money, but they don't have any bills. So they're still living with their parents, and the pressures of having to spend money may or may not have been put on them. So they think, hey, I got this money. Let's buy some cool stuff. And obviously, we know the issue here is you're not saving money, you won't have any. But let's start on the list. Let's start with the biggest one, cars. I have seen so many kids scrape together like a couple $1,000, which isn't that hard to do, especially if you're living at home with your parents. And they'll go to Kijiji and buy like a 2004 Infiniti for like $2,000, and then slap $3,000 rims on the thing, and black out the lights, and maybe spray paint it a little bit, and it's like, hey, I got a cool car. It's like, nah, bro, it's a piece of garbage that you put too much money in. I'm not trying to be mean, but it just boggles my mind sometimes. It's like, bro, this car is not going to make you any money. It's just a status symbol, a not very good status symbol at that. Let me just be honest with you. You're a kid, and if I see you rolling up in one of those early 2000s wide body 2-door sports cars with a fin on the back and some shiny rims, first thing that goes through my mind is you're broke because you spent all your money on that thing. And hey, not trying to knock people's passions. If your passion is cars, that's fantastic. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. If it's your absolute passion, then sure, I get it. If you want to be a mechanic or a car modifier, well then get that car and practice and practice and practice so that you become the best and make a lot of money doing it. That's ultimately the goal, right? We're not trying to like not have nice things in life. We're trying to prioritize them so that, we get to live fulfilling, thriving lives. That's what this channel is about, thriving in a chaotic world. You got to take certain steps first. Definitely build up a savings account so that you can either pay for tuition, go travel, get a special education or high income skill, something of that nature. Next thing is shoes. Like, boy, it's just stuff on your feet. Unless you're like super into, I want to be careful. I don't want to knock the culture. There's a lot of really wonderful things to be had in the culture around these things, and so I'm not against the culture at all. I'm simply cautioning young people who just spend their entire savings on items that are mainly status symbols. And I understand there's a culture around it. I get it. You want to be a part of the culture. That's cool. I want to start flipping shoes at some point. Like, it seems really, really cool. But again, it's priorities. You want to have some things set up so that you don't want to sabotage yourself. Like, money is a tool, and it can get you a lot of places. It can get you into university. It can get you to a new town where you can move out of your hometown and you can go somewhere else, get a new job. It can help you travel. It can pay your expenses. It can pay off your debt. Like, money is a tool, and if you just throw it away if you primarily spend it on items that don't make you more money or don't educate you, you're kind of selling yourself short, especially when you're a kid. Yeah, man, shoes, they're on your feet. Now, I understand if you're an athlete, then by all means spend extra money to get high quality shoes that will protect you. But like sneakers, like I don't I don't get it, bro. And again, unless you're flipping them and like trying to make a profit, sure. But I feel like it's this culture of status symbol. It's like, yo, I want to wear this brand so people will think this about me. Like, don't do that. That's just being insecure and looking for affirmation in other people's opinions of you. You don't want to live your life caring about other people's opinions of you. That's a very disempowering way to go through life. So I would encourage you to not do that. Buy cheap simple clothes that get the job done, and then work really, really, really hard on your passion so you can make a lot of money, and then later on you can have all the nice things without having to worry about it. You can have nice things and a fat bank account, but you have to make some sacrifices to get there. And that just moves right into designer brands. It's like, bro, a $20 hoodie versus a $200 hoodie. Or like, as far as I can tell, they're the same thing. One has a logo on it, and it's maybe a bit softer. It's like, bro, like, do you not do you not want to move out? Do you not want to live your own life? Like, you need money for all of these things: rent, car insurance, tuition, paying off your credit card debt. You know, like, again, it's priorities, right? If you're in a place where you can just throw money away, then fine, throw it away. I don't care. It's none of my business. The point is that I want to encourage you guys, save money and buy assets that will make you more money so that you can not have an empty bank account. And you got to sacrifice to get there. Like, I'm still sacrificing today to get there. I could go on Amazon right now and buy a pair of $500 sneakers, like Jordan Airs or Air Force Ones, like that. I could do it if I wanted to. It's like, it's not a problem. I could do that, but why would I? You know, I have goals, I have ambitions. I got to move out of this place. You know, I gotta build a business. I gotta build this brand. I gotta build the YouTube channel. I gotta get more equipment so I can make better live streams. Like, I have all of these other things that I'm sacrificing for so I can build a better future. And then in the future, when I'm making loads of money because I sacrifice now, I'll be able to buy the sneakers no problem. Just like, hey, I want it, it's mine. But that only comes from sacrifice. Very rarely do you just pop out of high school and just have the ability to get whatever you want. And so being very, very intentional about what you buy, budgeting, and what you spend can help you build a better future where you don't have to struggle. And so that is my hope for you guys. If you got value out of that, please like and subscribe. But moving right along into cheap stuff that you can buy for fun, because we all need some fun. I'm not trying to make you a monk. These are some things that I personally buy to help make me happy, and they're not terribly expensive, but they get the job done. It's the little things in life that can make you happy. So if you sacrifice on some things, be sure to give yourself other things, because I'm not trying to like completely deprive you of life. I mean, I'm not trying. It's not my business what you do with your life. Just trying to help. Happiness is good, and there are lots of little things that can make you happy. First one is lights. These lights are actually really, really cheap. They're only like $40 on Amazon. You can get them and light up your room, and they're actually quite bright. And you know, just having a colorful space can really do a lot to just make you happy. And I think it kind of improves my mental health a little bit to just be able to switch colors and just have a nice little colorful area. And it's pretty fun, and it's cheap. It's not expensive. And so if you're looking for a cheap way to just sort of enjoy yourself and add some pop and some flair and some fun to your life, by all means, check out these lights. They're Govee on Amazon. I don't have a link in the description yet because I didn't think that far ahead. I'm being dumb. But that's fine. You can get all sorts of LED lights on Amazon for pretty cheap, and they're fun. Next one is sparkling water. Now, in all seriousness, one of these just costs like $5. No, not $5 for one. $5 for 12, and I think that's a pretty fair deal. If you like sparkling water, it's way healthier than pop and Coke and all those other things you drink. You can drink it, and it makes me feel good. Like, I intentionally find little vices, little things that make me feel good, that make me happy, that I could spend money on, that don't break the bank, that don't run me dry. You know, $5 for some sparkling water that I can enjoy. It makes me feel good, makes me happy, gets my mood up. You know, like, you want to be very, very, very intentional about this. It can help you out. Another thing is novels. I love to read. I have a crap ton of books, and it's awesome because I love to get lost in a story. And the good news is novels don't cost that much, especially at the local thrift store or Value Village or whatever. And yeah, I go there and I buy a couple and I collect a few, and it's really, really cheap, and it's great escapism, especially if you find a great book And yeah, I just think there's a lot of value in reading a lot and reading stories, because not only do you just have fun with it, but I become inspired to do many great things, to do a lot of things, just by reading. And so I definitely think there's value in that, and I would highly recommend that you check out a book or two. It's fun. And last but not least, of course, is Netflix. Netflix is not that expensive. Their wide range is huge, and there's a lot of great shows on there that I really, really enjoy. And when I have some downtime, it just makes me happy to relax and just watch a show that I enjoy. You see, I'm not trying to force anybody to become a monk here. It's not like don't buy anything at all. You know, wear rags, work hard, and don't have any happiness in life. That's not the point. The point is to be intentional and figure out what it is that you need to get to a better place so that you can afford the luxury items that you love. So hopefully that helps. Like and subscribe, and right along to, we're going to talk about, we're going to segue right into talking about the right reasons to save money. You got to be self-aware. It's different for everybody. Everyone's situation is completely different. Some of you have passions and hobbies and needs that will require to spend more money, and that's fine. Just make sure that you can take care of your other stuff, you know, your rent, your bills, etc., etc. Don't leave yourself out to dry, so to speak. And, you know, I understand, you know, the starving artist, a lot of people do that for several years, and I'm not against that. I'm not against you working and grinding really, really hard on your passion and just living off of ramen noodles in a tiny apartment. It's like, that's actually, I go for it. Like, if you have a passion and you have something that you want to work for, I think saving money and sacrificing nice things so that you can work on something that brings you joy and happiness, I think that's a brilliant sacrifice. Go for it. You got to do it for the right reasons. Like, I don't neglect to buy nice clothes or stay away from buying shoes or, you know, jewelry or anything like that, or watches. Like, I have a pink wristband. I don't have a watch. Yeah, I will buy one to reward myself. I don't deprive myself of those nice things so that just to make myself miserable. It's like, no, I'm just being very, very intentional about where I spend my money and what I put my effort into. I want my money to go towards something that I'm passionate about, that brings joy and meaning into my life, that I can then build up and monetize at some point, like this YouTube channel. Like and subscribe if you want to help me out. But yeah, for example, if you're a kid and you love sneakers, well, I get that. That's awesome. Don't just spend $1,000 on sneakers, on 3 pairs, and then you're just out $1,000. Learn to flip sneakers. You know, learn to buy and resell and make a profit. Like, turn your passion to something that can make you more money. That way you can do what you love. Don't just buy Gucci for the sake of having Gucci and impressing other people and drawing affirmation from their opinions of you. Buy Gucci so you can flip it and sell it for more money and make a profit. And then spend that profit on things that are meaningful to you. Or just use it to pay your rent so that you can live and do things that are great for you. So it's like, you know, like if you want to buy a nice car, like, I get that. I want a nice car at some point too, but I'm not just gonna drop 10 grand on a wide body with a fin just to flex and make people think I'm rich. No, I would work really, really hard. I would get into an auto body shop that gives me a skills that I can use to work on cars, you know, in my spare time. And so I think it's, if your passion is cars and you want to work on them and modify them and customize them, then by all means, get a car to practice on and take care of. Like, that's awesome. And work really, really, really hard to make your dreams come true. The point is that we're grinding for something that is meaningful and important. We're not just blowing our money on vanity items to impress people. If the shoes or the car or the jewelry is something that is important to you and you can use it to, you know, make more money, flip, resell, and it doesn't cause you to go into debt, unnecessary debt, or not be able to pay your rent or not be able to afford tuition, then by all means go for it. The point is not to deprive yourself of nice things. The point is to strategically sacrifice so that you can build a better future and then have all those nice things. That's the point. And it's different for everybody. So all I would say is, like, this is just about making sure you have the fundamentals covered first. You know, your food, your water, your shelter, and your debt. You know, pay off your debts and your education. Once you get all that in and you got a steady stream of income, you got a job that you like and it doesn't bore you to tears, then by all means, buy some of these nice things. Or save up for a family, something like that. Yeah, I would discourage you from living paycheck to paycheck. I think one of the main reasons that I would avoid doing all these things is so that I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. And I think that's a really good reason, because you get a lot of stress and anxiety from that. And so definitely have a cushion, some savings, so that you can live stress-free. And then if you work hard enough at your passions, you can monetize it and then maybe do what you love for a living and have the nice things. Hope this helps. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe if you want more. Please like and subscribe. And that'll be all.